unveiled their social credit system, a plan to promote good citizen behavior using incentives and punishing bad citizen behavior using limitations. During the unveiling of the social credit system, the state council stated that the plan would, quote, allow the trustworthy to roam everywhere under heaven while making it hard for the discredited to take a single step, unquote. The system uses points similar to our financial credit score system, but for everyday activities. People can lose points by behaving in a way the government deems unappealing, like littering, paying bills late, drinking too much alcohol, or posting what the government deems to be misinformation online. A person can gain points by helping old ladies walk across the street, exercising daily, and following all government directives. China says the system is meant to promote honesty in government affairs, commercial integrity, social integrity, and judicial credibility. The government monitors citizens to determine their scores through mass data collection, surveillance from their network of hundreds of millions of cameras, citizen observers, these are neighbors hired by the government to report good and bad behavior, agency records, and social media activity are some of the ways the government knows whether or not one is a model citizen. Now, everyone in China starts off with a set amount of points and can lose or gain them based on what's deemed good or bad behavior. A high score gives a person extra privileges like free water, free healthcare checks, lower bank loan rates, and access to community bikes. A low score can limit a person's ability to travel on trains or planes, limit their children from enrolling in certain schools, and can even cost them their jobs. People with low social credit scores are even publicly shamed, with their images splashed on screens as warnings to others. Scores can be checked through an app or kiosk set up around the cities. There's a little video of what the system is like so you can get a better idea.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month.
It's really frightening and dystopian, but let's break this down by piece by piece. How far away are we, the citizens of the United States, from China on this? So let's start with the very first thing the Chinese government claimed would be the result of this social credit system, that the trustworthy can roam everywhere while the discredited can't take a single step. Now, countless people have been calling for the government to issue vaccine mandates that would grant certain trusted people, those who are vaccinated, access to travel, entertainment, and even jobs. In San Francisco and soon in New York City, in order to enter a bar, restaurant, or any public place of entertainment, people must show proof of vaccination. Now, with Pfizer's vaccine being fully FDA approved, scores of people are wanting to see the unvaccinated completely unable to participate in society. Essentially, they want a world where the vaccinated can roam everywhere under heaven while the unvaccinated can't take a single step. And it isn't just the vaccine passports that are marching us towards China's dystopian future. There are rumors that some doctors won't treat patients who are unvaccinated as a matter of principle. They morally oppose their decision and intend to deny medical care because of it. Now, these rumors may or may not be true, but one thing that is ringing true is the loud chorus of people on social media suggesting folks who are unvaccinated should be refused treatment or should be left with large medical bills. Never mind the smokers who get lung cancer or the motorcyclist who gets into an accident. The unvaccinated deserve punishment. And it isn't just the fun stuff the unvaccinated will miss out on. Numerous businesses are requiring their employees to be vaccinated or lose their jobs. Universities tell students to do it or miss out on their education. But what is this all based on? Mounting evidence is suggesting the vaccine doesn't stop the spread. So is this really based on science or conformity? Now, like in China, we are witnessing an increasing amount of squelching dissent. Social media companies have taken up the majority of the work maintaining the official narratives by censoring anything deemed misinformation. And what exactly is misinformation? As we've seen on so many instances of accurate and truthful information being censored, it has become clearer and clearer that what is considered misinformation is just anything that isn't the official policy of the government. Essentially, it is no longer okay to have an opinion, even an expert opinion if you happen to be one, if it goes against the stance of badge-carrying officials. And if you happen to say something that is not in line with authorities, like in China, you could suffer social ramifications. Your posts will be either removed or have a warning slapped across them, or you yourself will be deplatformed, unable to communicate with your friends and family. In the most recent and extreme cases, medical doctors have had their LinkedIn profiles removed in an attempt to discredit them. And maybe you think, oh, boo-hoo, you can't post on Facebook. We've seen other more serious ramifications for losing social credibility in our society. People have had real-world consequences, such as losing their jobs and being alienated within their communities over tweets posted a decade ago. We've seen doctors losing their medical license for giving countering medical information. Head-scratching that a doctor who's trying to treat patients would be demonized, while one who refuses to treat patients gets applauded. Even the financial credit system here in America is highly debilitating and lacks transparency. In order to even get basics like utilities, an apartment, or a cell phone, people must have a decent credit score. We are all fairly used to it, but should we be? We have no idea what causes the scores to go up or down. Oftentimes, nonsensical things, such as paying off a loan, will make the number drop. People have even suspected that having a non-European name could lead to lower scores. Now, these scores are essential to living in our credit-reliant world. A person with a lower score for arbitrary reasons could be left with paying higher interest rates and higher deposits while receiving lower quality goods and services. And though we don't have an official system the way China does, are we really far off? We are inching closer and closer to this dystopian future of carrying with us QR codes that let doorkeepers know if we are worthy of access. We have community narcs and IAI patrolling Twitter and Facebook in search of misleading posts to flag. We have financial scores assigned to us to determine whether or not we can have basic services like the internet or a car. And with financial institutions such as PayPal announcing they will be limiting transactions for people and groups deemed extremists without defining what an extremist is exactly, we could find ourselves unable to make purchases because the powers that be deem us to be bad citizens. Now, the biggest difference between our situation and China's official system is that theirs is state-run by their centralized autocratic government. Their authorities are allowed to collect data on their citizens and use it however they please. Now, our Constitution, however, largely protects us from government intrusion of this type in our lives, and so our politicians rely on private entities to do the dirty work for them instead. Our government has recruited big tech, big pharma, big banks, big corporations, and private businesses to meddle in our daily activities in order to keep us safe. We now have censorship on our social media platforms that prevents us from posting or seeing information in order to keep us safe. Vaccines being mandated by employers and cities in order to keep us safe. Credit scores that prevent the untrustworthy from taking loans or opening accounts in order to keep us safe. Invasive screenings at airports in order to keep us safe. Unwarranted searches and seizures in order to keep us safe. Big tech surveilling our internet activities in order to keep us safe. And the list continues to grow. So is this the future? Are we headed for an era where our every movement is captured, cataloged, assessed, and used for or against us? Is it inevitable in a world of increasing technology? Or at some point do we say we've had enough and this is too similar to living in an episode of Black Mirror? Now, Ryan, I want to throw this at you.